Hi, I'm really happy that I'm learning how to record my computer because I've always wanted to share my budget with people. So I'm going to try and make this as quick and as easy as possible. But what I think is that by knowing how to budget, you are able to figure out how much money you actually make, how much money is your bills, and it gives you a lot of power because if, let's say, you go and you want to buy something and you make $700 a week, but your budget is $600 a week, you know whether you can afford that thing or not because you really only have $100 more that you could spend. Otherwise, you're going to be spending more than what you have. So this has always given me a lot of power to manage my money. So I'm going to show you what I do. What I do is I take an Excel file, and on the first row here, I write down any of the expenses that I might have. So car insurance, house insurance. Major repair is things that might come up throughout the year that I have to buy. So let's say I need to put in new carpeting, or my refrigerator breaks, or I have to do an oil change on my car, or I have major car repairs. I might even be wanting to save up for a new roof on my house, or I don't know what else might come up along the way, but just so that you have the money. So I kind of estimate this amount as being like about $6,000 a year. Actually, I think mine's a little bit higher, but let's say it depends on your expenses. You kind of have to come up with that number yourself. So you put like whatever number you think you're going to need per year, and then probably some more just for these major repair things that you might need in the future, 20 years from now or 10 years from now. I also do a vacation fund because my husband used to complain about going on vacation and spending money out of our savings for vacation. And a lot of people I know also put it on credit cards. So what we do is we figure out how much do we want to spend about per year on vacation, and then we put that money aside every week in order to pay for the vacation. So this one I randomly put $3,000. Yours might be more, yours might be less. School funds I have because there were fees that it cost in order to enroll our kids in the public schools. It also was buying their school supplies. Um, so again, you're estimating how much per year do you think you're going to spend for school. College fund, I think, is really important because if you have children, you want to be saving money for their college. So I would recommend kind of thinking about how much money do you need to be able to save in order to send them to college. You don't necessarily need the full amount right away, and I'll maybe in another video explain that. But I would try to put as much as you can. So kind of figure out how much could I spend, how much could I save per year for my kids. So here is 2,500, and I'll show you down the road that you can really save up. Well, if you save 2,500 per year, I got my little calculator, and you did that for 20 years, you'd have $50,000 for your kids to go to school. So it doesn't take a lot of money in order to save a lot of money if it's over a long period of time. Then I have extra fund is like things that might come up that you're not aware of. I don't know what that might be, but sometimes just saving a little extra money per year is kind of nice to have that extra money here. And I don't budget for groceries, but I'm just putting that in there. I fig this is like at $100 a week on groceries. You'd need $5,200 a year for that. Groceries at $50 a week. I'm sorry, gas at $50 a week would be 2,600. Sewer and water bill, we usually have to pay that quarterly. So if ours is about $200 times 4 times a year is 800. If you're giving money to church, let's say you give $40 a week to church times 52 weeks in the year, that would be not this amount. I think I put this one at $50 times 52 weeks in the year. Yep. At $50 a week for church, you'd be giving 2,600 donations. Let's say you want to give to certain organizations like the American Cancer Society, or I know I like public radio. I might give money to that. So, or I might want to give to some political person, a candidate. I want to save up some money for that. So I save about $1,000 a year for that. Gifts and Christmas gifts would be another one, or birthday gifts. And then another one I'm thinking about right now is also clothing. So as you can see, your list is going to go on and on and on, depending on what are your expenses and how much do you spend per year on those things. So let's say I'm, again, a very cheap person. So let's say a family of four, about $250 a person, which is almost impossible. But that's including shoes. Maybe you spend $1,000 per family of four or two people. So then what you're going to do then is you figure out all of your expenses on line number one. Then you figure out how much does it cost per year, put that on line number two. Then on row number three, you're going to figure out how much is this number, the line number two, the yearly number, divided by 52 weeks in the year. So what I do to do that is I click on the box, I put equal, and then I click on the yearly one, and then divide it by 52. And that's how much I'm going to come up with. So you're going to do that for every single one of these expenses. And the easy way to do that is you just go like this, click on that, put a little cross at the corner, and you bring it across like that. And that's going to give you, it'll copy that formula, and it gives you the 52 weeks in the year number is right there. Then what I do is I want to kind of round these up because those are really odd numbers. So as you can see, $11.53, 846154. I rounded it to 11.54. This one I would probably do. Sometimes I get even lazier and I just go round it up to like a 10 cents or something. So this would be 11, 15, 40. This would be 57.70. Whatever comes to mind that's a little bit higher. This one I'm going to go 7, 48.10, 25. That one's easy, 10. So you see what I'm doing. So as long as it's a little bit more, that's great. Oops, sorry. 24, 19.24, and again 19.24, because those are all $1,000. So that's how much it is per week. Then I'm going to go like this. I'm going to sum that whole amount, and it's going to be a lot of money. So that means that I have this wrong. I know I do, because there's no way in the world that that equals that. Sum those numbers. Oh, I know why. Because I have 50 here. 500. There you go. Good lesson learned. Okay, so I'm going to sum. This is how much I'm going to need in my checking account every week in order to pay for all of these expenses. So let's say I make $700. I'm going to put 700, and then minus this amount. I'm going to round it up. Then that means that I'm going to have $136 left in my checking account at the end of the week in order to spend to go out to restaurant or whatever I need to do. So this is a good number. This is a good way to be able to understand how much money you have, how much money you have to spend, and how much money is left over every week. So what I'm doing is I have one checking account where our money is deposited into every week or every 2 weeks for when you get paid. And then you will then have an automatic withdrawal into another checking account of this amount, this 564, and that checking account is used to pay all these expenses here. Another thing to remember is if you're getting paid every month or if you're getting paid every 2 weeks, then you might want to change your formulas. We get paid every week. So if you figure this out, the $600, and you get paid every 2 weeks, then it would be divided by 26 weeks in the year. So you'd come up with probably a larger number. And then you would have these, the dates that you're depositing into your account be different. But we're every week. So then what I do is I take this number and I'm going to put it, I'm going to have every day that we get a deposit. So I'm just made up numbers, but 1/7, then a week later 1/14, 1/21, 1/28, and then I move this number because every week I'm going to put this number into our checking account that's for our bills. So I add that all up there, I put those all there, then I'm going to go like this, I'm going to sum these numbers right here, and that will equal the wrong number. So that equals that amount. So I'm going to do that for every single one of these other columns. I'm going to bring these numbers down and then sum them all. So as you can see, I have done that. I have taken this number and I've put it in every column, taken that number, put it in every column. I've summed it all so that I know at the end of January, this is the amount from each of these categories that I will have in that particular expense checking account. And then I did it for the month of February, March, April, and then all the way down until December. And so by the end of the year, in each of these accounts, I'm going to have these amounts. That's how much will be in those accounts. And then what I'm going to do is whenever I have any expenses, then I will go like this, and I will, let's say I'm going to have one in March. I will, oops, sorry, go like this, and I will insert a row. And let's say I have a house insurance that comes in and it's negative $300. And then that's going to come out, and see, then I'm going to have 30 cents left over in that account for my budget. But see, I have more money still. If you look down here, I still have another $900 ready to go with that. What I do every month then is I will look at my checking account statement and I will reconcile it. So if I had this house payment coming out, I will see that it came out of my checking account, and I will click on here and I will put, I always like to pick this blue for some reason. I picked that blue, and that means that I saw this in my checking account and it's also in my budget. So I want to make sure that those two match, because sometimes I'll forget to put something on my budget, but it comes out of my that checking account. And this way I'm able to keep track of all of my expenses and what's coming in and what's coming out. And every year, probably like around December, I refigure my numbers because maybe my car insurance went up or my house insurance went up, and then I have to refigure these numbers based on the yearly amount. So my finished budget kind of looks like this. It will be, I kind of highlight these ending numbers so that it kind of separates everything else out. I really love it because it, I just feel like it gives me a better control of what I am spending. A lot of times too, let's say I want to buy something, maybe I needed more for college down the road or something. Maybe I can borrow from my major repair, or I can borrow from my vacation fund to pay for something else and then pay myself back through these funds. So, and then here I made even some more categories like gas and electric, my Time Warner bill, my cell phone bill. So those would also be added on to here. I would maybe say like I need $200, I don't need $200 a month, but $150 a month times 50 times 12 months. So I'm going to need about $1,800 for my electric. My Time Warner is, I actually, believe it or not, is about $100 times 12, 1,200. And then we also have about the same for our cell phones. And then I'm going to do this whole thing again. That I'm going to go this equals this divided by 52 and carry that over. There we go. So I'm going to add those all into there, and then I'm going to figure a new number. And then I'm going to have a new sum of what I need to go into my checking account every week. So hopefully that helps you with budgeting a little bit. It gives you an idea how to save money and stay within your budget. I just noticed one thing that I just want to make clear is that when you're totaling these three and you get farther down, make sure you go like this, sum, and then include